What is going on, guys? I'm Alvin here, and this is the transfer special of Newcastle's transfer challenge. So, if you're new to this channel, let me explain to you the rules of this series. All right, so if you have a look at the staff responsibility, right? So, I've actually changed all of the responsibilities of transfers and contract to my director of football and the head of the youth development. All right, so they are basically in charge of basically from initiating, negotiating, and even finalizing the transfers of new players, and whether it is transfer in or transfer out. So in terms of the loan, it'll be basically handled by my loan manager. All right. So in the contract as well, so player contract discussion for Newcastle for for basically under 21 and under 18s will be done by them as well. So what do I do is I basically just get the team that they signed for me, that they have signed in, and I make them look good in the pitch. All right, I try to achieve the board's expectation, the supporters expectation with the team that is given to me. All right, so last season was actually quite good for us, in terms of the improvement that we have done in our performance in the field. All right, so we finished the Premier League, in the third position, which was great, and we are qualified for the Champions League next season. All right, so we went all the way to the semi-final of the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup as well. All right, and in terms of the Europa League, yeah, we went to the final, but we lost to Arsenal 5-1. All right, so that was actually a very very sad ending to our season two as Newcastle's manager. But I'm really looking forward, getting into the Champions League and trying to win the Champions League from season three onwards. All right. Okay, so our board has been so generous, with us, with a big huge war chest that they have actually gave us. All right, so we actually have a transfer budget of 214 million. So this is actually really great, and with a wage budget of 162 million per annum. All right, so we are currently spending around 145. Sorry, 155. We are committed. Our committed spending is around 155 million. So we have around 7 million to play with. But if it's needed, we can always make the budget adjustment. We can always go around here. If we need more wage budget, we can always move things around. So I think that is going to be something to work on. All right. So in terms of transfers, my director of football have actually done one transfer. So this was actually done back in the January transfer window. Antonio Blanco. Antonio Blanco, he is signed from Real Madrid, okay, on a free transfer. All right. So to be honest, he is not that great. Okay, but if you look at his attribute, he is quite average, I would say. So we can actually use him as a squad player. He can play as a defensive midfielder and in the central midfielder as well. But I think I will be looking to play him, as a deep lying playmaker, as our defensive midfielder. When he joins us in, he will be coming in on the 1st of July as part of the free transfer. All right. I know he doesn't look that great, but he have a little bit of a potential to, to realize, and we are getting him for free. Okay, so yeah, we can always use him. He's only 23 years old, and let's see if he coming in, he can actually provide a little bit of a, backup to Bruno as our defensive midfielder. So let's have a look at our squad. Okay, so in terms of the goalkeeping position, I think we are set. We have Diogo Costa as our first choice goalkeeper, and Marco, I'm actually looking to make him as our backup, as our second goalkeeper this season. Nick Pope, he is actually he wants to leave. All right, he's wanted by Norwich. Okay, so if they actually, yeah, I think if they pay 21 million, I'll be more than happy, to letting him go. All right, so yeah, even with Nick Pope going, we are not gonna have any problem. Marco and Diego Costa will be able to, cover the goalkeeping position, and I have no worries about that at all. Okay, so in terms of our left back position, this is the position that I think we will have to strengthen this season. Okay, let's talk about Marcos Alonso first. Marcos Alonso, he's already 33 years old. All right, if you look at his physical, right, he have already started declining in terms of his physical. So I think it's not going to be long enough, until he will start, losing his legs basically. Matthew Target has been, doing a good job for us in the in the past 2 years. But if you have a look, even in the Europa League, right, he had a average rating of 6.71. So yeah, and he's only a two and a half star. If you look at his attribute as well, it's quite there's a lot of 13 and 14s. Okay, he is a good player if you have a look, but I think he should be as a squad player in our team, and we are now going to be a Champions League, team. So we really need a good left back, and I really hope our director of football will get one this season. And I think Marcos Alonso will have to be sell off. I really hope it will be done. Okay, so in terms of our center back position, right? This is on the left. I've actually arranged the players according to the position that they normally cover and play for. Okay, Bastoni, I would say he is actually quite a good player for us. I think he should be more than enough to cover the left hand side as our center back. Sven Botman. Swan Botman is actually a good backup, I would say, as a centre back. If you have a look at his average rating in the Premier League, it was okay. But in the FA Cup, sorry, in the Europa League, he didn't really play well. He didn't get a lot of chances with us as well. And he wants to go out for a loan. Okay, he's not trying to leave. He wants to go out for a loan. And yeah, we're currently loan listed. And he is wanted by Borussia Dortmund, for a transfer. So I think most probably he will be leaving our team this season. Okay, so we need someone to actually, be able to cover and be a backup to Alessandro Bastoni on the left hand side. Okay, so on the right hand side, Edson Alvarez and Mateo Gabia, both of them are not good enough to be in our team, to be honest. So if you look at the attributes of Edson Alvarez, right, especially his mental side of things, he is actually supposed to be a good, ball playing defender, all right, in our team. But if you look at his average rating, he was not good enough. Okay, to be in our first team 11. To be honest, he he didn't play well at all. Especially if you look at his Premier League average rating, 6.74. Europa League 6.71. Yeah, I think we really need to get one more centre back, to be as our first choice centre back. Okay, Mateo Gabia. Okay, whenever he was called upon, he had a respectable, average rating, respectable performance as well. But if you look at his attributes, he is, to be honest, not really good enough to play in the Champions League level. But yeah, I'll be more than happy to have him as a squad player. To call him on off the bench. All right. So I think if we sell Sven Botman, to Borussia Dortmund this season, and we sign another two more centre back, I think our centre back position, our defensive line will be sorted out. Okay. All right. So in terms of our right back, yeah, Kyrian Trippier will have to be replaced. If you look at these downward arrows that we have, beside his attributes, he's already 33 years old. He is our captain, but yeah, I think he is not gonna be good enough for us next season. Yeah, if we can get a replacement, a long-term replacement, because I think Tino will be able to do a good job for us, in the as our first choice right back. If you look at his attributes, he's already a Premier League standard player. He have a lot of potential still. Okay, I think he should be good enough, but we really need one more right back, to be as a backup to Tino. And Kyrian Trippier, I think he will have to leave. So in terms of our defensive midfield position, right? Bruno, I think he can actually still be our first choice defensive midfielder. I'm not sure why he's having a lot of this downward errors. Downward arrows there. Okay, okay. I'm not gonna dwell into that so much. He's 26 years old. He have played quite well for us. Especially if you have a look at his Premier League average rating, his FA Cup, Europa League. Okay, but yeah, he was still 6.95. So I think it's very very respectable. I think it's okay. Okay, Sean Longstaff, the only reason he's here is because he is trained at club. He's homegrown at club. That is the only reason he's here. Antonio Blanco, I think if Antonio Blanco comes in, right, and he can actually play as a deep lying playmaker. All right, I think he will be good enough to provide a backup to Bruno this season. I think it should be okay between these two players. And if we are really really desperate, Sean Longstaff, I think the defensive midfield position is covered. But if Dan wants to go and sign a superstar defensive midfielder for me, I think I will be more than happy to accept it. All right. Okay. So in terms of our Mazala, all right. If you look at this, right, I think we need to address this position as well in the next season. Okay. Joe Willock, if you have a look at him, yeah, last season we have actually gave him a lot of chances and all. He played well. But most of the time he was actually playing as our defensive midfielder as a roaming playmaker. All right, he did quite a good job there. He had some great moments as well, especially in the FA Cup where he scored 4 goals. All right. Other than that, he was not good enough. He's only 24 years old, and I'm not against letting him stay, but I think we do really need to buy a Mazala on attack. Elliot Anderson, he's not yet ready to be in the team yet. Yeah, but I can't loan him out because he is homegrown at club for us. As you guys know, we only have 2 players that are homegrown in club, so it is a little bit hard for us, to yeah to register everyone basically into our Champions League squad. So, but yeah, I think maybe if Oliver leaves, we can actually get in another one more Mazala on attack that can actually cover. If we can get a central midfielder, right, that can actually play as a Mazala and maybe cover at the box to box midfielder as well, I think that is going to be great. But yeah, that is still to be seen. And Joe Linton wants to leave this season. Okay, he have already been transfer listed by request. His value is 63 million. I think if anyone, if anyone wants to come in, and pay 63 million for him, I think I'll be more than happy to accept it. Yeah. But if he leaves, we really need a box to box midfielder as well, because if he leaves, we will only have Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I'm not gonna go anything against. I don't have anything against Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He was amazing for us last season. Joe Linton got injured. In the start of the season, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek basically picked it up. From there. And he played so well for us. But he's already 28 years old, and he don't have a lot of potential. He's not gonna improve. He's just there. So I think if we can get another box to box midfielder, if Joe Linton leaves, I think that is going to be a great business. Ruben Loftus-Cheek can actually play as a backup. I think he will be great. Coming off the bench. And scoring goals for us whenever it is needed. Okay. All right. So in terms of our first, basically our front line, right? I would say. Okay. Okay, in the left wing position, we have Alexander Isak, we have Hudson Odoi, and Martin Tavares. Also, he is improving, and I'm really excited to see him, growing more in the next season. He's only a championship player right now, but I think hopefully next season, by the end of next season, he will be good enough to play as our first choice left winger or maybe our striker. All right, and in terms of the right wing position, I would say we are actually quite covered as well, because we have Saint Maximin. Miguel Almiron he is also transfer listed, so I think he will be leaving as well. But we do have Rooney Baji. Okay, Rooney Baji is there. Okay, he is even last season he joined us on the month of January, and he was amazing, especially in the Premier League. If you have a look, you know, I think he will be a great backup for Saint Maximin next season, and I do know that he have the capability of basically taking the right wing position as his own next season. And yeah, basically just be our superstar right winger, I would say. So in terms of the right wing and the left wing position, I don't have any problem. Our striker department, okay, in our striking position, we really do need a first choice striker. Okay, and if we are gonna play Isaac, as our first choice striker, then I think it should be okay. But we really do need someone to be a backup to him, because Callum Wilson, he have already gonna start declining as well, to be honest. Last season was not a very good season for him. I know you look at his 25 goals, he was amazing, you will say that he was good enough. But in a lot of our important matches, right? Especially, he was really missing. Okay, most of the goals that he scored was basically against the the weaker teams and all those kind of things. And yeah, I really hope that we can actually sign one more striker this season to provide a backup to Alexander Isak and Callum Wilson, someone who can actually come off the bench and score goals for us. That is what we were lacking last season, especially where during our Europa League final, we were only 2-1 down, in the final. We made our sub and we basically, weakened the squad and we conceded 3 goals, I think, in the last 10 or 15 minutes. So yeah, that was not a good performance at all. So that is why we really need not only a strong first team, but we really need to have a strong bench. Okay, if we are to compete in the Premier League as well as in the Champions League, if you want to go further in the Champions League competition this season. All right. Okay, so I think the intro has been quite long. We have been talking for very long time right now. Okay, so we are in the 3rd of June. So you know what am I gonna do is I'm gonna start clicking continue, and I will come back to you guys when we have any transfer news. I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, guys. So our first bid is in. Okay, Dan Ashworth have actually made a bid for James Ward-Prowse. All right. So I've actually never ever played with James before this in Football Manager, but as you guys know, he is a legend when it comes to free kick corners, and everything. You know, he's basically a god of set piece when it comes to Football Manager. All right. So I think if we do manage to sign him, right, he can actually be a very good box to box midfielder, or maybe even a cover for Bruno in the defensive midfielder position as well. What do you guys think? Should we be spending 48 million for this boy? Yeah. You know, when I look at his physical, his stamina, his natural fitness is actually quite good. And even as a box to box midfielder, right? If you look at his work rate, his aggression is a little bit lacking, but yeah, his determination, his leadership as well. I think that is what we are lacking. A true leader in our team, someone who will work hard for us. And yeah, I really think that he will be a good signing. Yeah, but it is still to be seen whether this offer is accepted by Southampton or not. So guys, Dan have actually made an offer for yet another midfielder. All right, so Dario Esugo from Sporting, we have actually made an offer of 34.5 million for this boy. He can actually provide a very good cover for Bruno, especially in the defensive midfield position. All right, he's only 19 years old, but if you look at his attribute, right, he is already good enough, to be as our backup player in the team. And since he's 19 years old, I'm not exactly sure whether he will be go homegrown at club or not, but that will be yet to be seen if he is gonna join us. But yeah, I think this boy is gonna be great for us if he is joined. If Dario and James Ward-Prowse, right, if they both of them join, I think our midfield will be complete for next season. And yeah, I think that is great. That is a really great piece of business. We are only in the 10th of June, and Dan Ashworth is already showing his magic. A little bit of a bad news, guys. James have actually opted to sign with Arsenal. All right, so he joined them for 53 million, and yeah, I think he is earning around 6.3. I think we only offered him around 5 million. I think that must be one of the reasons why he have actually decided to join them. But I think yeah, I think I really don't know what to say anymore. All right, so we are working on a transfer. We are still in offer with Dario Esugo. All right, we have actually offered him a contract, 2 million per annum, and I really hope this boy will join us because he really does look amazing. All right, guys. So it is the 1st of July, and we have done a lot of transfer in and out as well. So let's talk about the transfer out first. So I think the most notable players that have gone out from our team is Miguel Almiron. So Miguel Almiron, we have actually sold him to Rennes for 10.5 million. So if you have a look, right, last season, even in the first season as well, if you have a look at the average rating, he was not a very good player for us. He was always a backup to Saint Maximin, and whenever we have called upon him and all, and then he have actually never played well. And with us signing Rooney Baji as our right winger, I think Miguel Almiron, with the age of 30 years old, I think he is not going to be able to break into the team. And we do have Joe Gerrard that we are looking, that I'm actually planning to give him more game time this season. So selling Almiron for 10.5 million, I think it is quite a good business. All right, so another player that we have actually sold to AS Monaco is Sven Botman. So Sven Botman, early on in this episode, we were actually talking about him. Yeah, if you have a look at him, right, he was actually not good, really good enough to be in our team, and I think I've actually signed a even better replacement for him. All right, so we sold him to AS Monaco for 16.25 million. I think that is actually quite justified. I know we have actually spent 35 million, but this was actually done. I think this was actually done in the real life by Newcastle. It was not done in the game or anything like that. But yeah, I know getting 16.25 million, that is actually a little bit of a, it's not a little bit of a, it's actually quite a big loss there. But yeah, I think he was not even good enough to be in our team. All right, and he was not even improving a lot. All right, so our first signing confirmed, Dario Esugo. All right, so Dario Esugo, he is 19 years old. We signed him from Sporting for 34.5 million. If you have a look at his value, right, his value is actually almost double than what we signed him for. So that is actually a very, very great great indication of the quality of this player. He's already a Premier League standard player, and he can actually play as a deep lying playmaker. All right, as a defensive midfielder, I think he will be a great squad player, a great backup to Bruno, our new center back. I think Guardiola's and Bastoni's partnership in the centre back position will be able to, will actually, bolster up our defensive line. I'm really, really happy that our director of football have actually went for him. We signed him for 69 million from Leipzig. I know it is a very, very hefty amount to, to pay for 22 years old centre back, but this is Guardiola. Everyone knows that he is always great, in Football Manager especially. All right. Okay, so I'm really excited to have a great caliber of a quality of a centre back, to partner up with Bastoni. I think with him both, as our first choice centre back, and Edson Alvarez and Gabia as their backup, I think our centre back position right now is already, I would say complete. Yeah, I think that will be a great word to say, right? We have a new left back in the team. All right, so Milos, is it Milos or Milos? All right, we actually signed him from AZ for 16.25 million. All right, so if you look at his potential, right, he actually has the potential to be a 4-star player. So currently he's on a 2.5-star ability, but he is already good enough to play in the Premier League. If you have a look at him, let's compare him to Matthew Target and see. I think he is not quite that standard of Matthew Target yet. If you have a look, Matthew Target is obviously slightly better than him. But if you actually compare them, Milois is only 20 years old. Matthew Target is only 28. I think with Marcos Alonso, what we was discussing early on in this episode, Marcos Alonso is already started declining. I think Milos, we can actually, start him as a squad player first, as a backup to Matthew Target. And I'm really, really confident that, in another maybe 1 or 2 season, he will surpass Matthew Target to be as our first choice left back in the team. All right. Do let me know in the comment if you think that this is a good signing. Okay. I know that Matthew Target, we were actually thinking of getting a first choice left back. But as you guys know, in Football Manager, it's really, really hard to get fullbacks. It's not easy. All right, so yeah, when my director of football actually actually made a bid of him, when I checked him out, I think he was actually really good enough, you know and he has the personality of a perfectionist, which is going to be great. Determination of a 15, I think. Yeah, these are going to help him, to develop even further, to be I don't know, a first choice left back for us. All right, so Antonio Blanco, I think you guys have actually already met him. All right, we signed him on a free transfer. William Swedberg, yeah, this guy was actually signed by our head of youth development. I think it's just a pun. He signed him for 10 million for an under 18 player. Oh my god, what kind of business is this? All right, so if he okay, he has a 3.5 star, potential ability. If he grew up, if he developed into a great player, I think that is going to be great. But I don't think I have a lot of expectation for this player. All right. Okay. So Joe Linton have also left the building. Okay, we have sold him to Wolves for 33.5 million. I'm not sure why our director of football did this business, but Joe Linton wanted to leave. He was kicking up a fuss, and he basically, requested for a transfer, and I'm really not sure why he accepted 33.5. As you guys know, I don't have any say in the transfer business, right? But his value was over 50 million, and I don't think this is a good business. And what's the problem is we don't have a replacement for him yet in the team. All right. So yeah, if we don't sign anyone to replace Joe Linton, we are going to be in trouble. Okay, so Kieran Trippier have also left the building, and he have joined Sevilla for 3.4 million. All right. He's 33 years old. I know he was our captain, but yeah, I think he was really declining a lot, and I think yeah, it is best for him to leave, and so that we can actually give more chance to Tino Livramento. Yeah, I think nothing much to talk about here. I think everyone will understand that 33 years old, obviously he's gonna start declining, and he was actually earning quite a lot of salary in our team as well. So I think it is a good transfer business, I would say. Yeah. With Kieran Trippier leaving the club, our director of football have actually made an offer to Serginho Dest. Okay, he is currently under a transfer bid of 10 million from us. It is safe to say that we are the only team that have already made a transfer bid, but he is actually wanted by Borussia Dortmund, Napoli, Atletico Madrid, and Leipzig. So I'm really hoping that this transfer will go through before any of these teams make their offer. All right, and yeah, I think this boy can actually be a very very good. I wouldn't say a direct replacement to Kieran Trippier, because Kieran Trippier, if you look at his attribute, he was a very very good player. But I think he and Tino, right, can actually complement each other. Yeah, we will actually have two right backs that are very similar in terms of their quality. If you have a look at the polygon, right, Serginho Dest is a little bit more better than him, but he's still 23 years old, and Tino, as we guys know, he has a lot of potential to realize. All right, so yeah, if you look at his attribute as well, they are actually very very similar, almost the same, almost identical to each other. So which is really great, and yeah, I really hope this transfer will go through. Our director of football have actually made an offer for Yunus Musa for 29.5 million. He actually has a release clause of 29.5 million, but the problem is, if you have a look at this, we are going to be competing with Liverpool for this boy's signature, which is going to be really hard because, if I'm not mistaken, Liverpool won the league last season. Yeah, and yeah, as you guys know, Liverpool obviously they have better reputation than us. But if you look at him, right, if we manage to sign him, this boy can actually be a great Mazala on attack. Okay, so this is what we are lacking in the team, to be honest. In last season, I know Oliver and Orkan actually played quite well. They were scoring a lot of goals for us as well, but there were games that they were actually missing. And whenever we brought in Joe Willock or Elliot Anderson, to replace them, yeah, it usually doesn't work, But I think this boy, if he gets to be as our squad player, if he joins us, I think he can be a very, very good option to come in from the bench. All right, but it is still yet to be seen. We are competing with Liverpool, but I really hope he will sign for us. All right, guys. So a great news for us. Yunus Musa have rejected the offer from Liverpool and signed for us, which is great. If you look at this, right, Valencia also offered him a new contract. Try to try to I think maybe remove the release clause, but he have opted to join us, and I am really happy. If you have a look at him, he is already a world class midfielder, which is amazing. All right, so he will actually be as our, obviously he will be starting ahead of Orkan, as our Mazala on attack. All right, so I think I will be making a little bit of changes, in terms of the role player in our midfield position to be able to play Orkan as our starting midfielder as well, because that guy actually has a lot of quality as well. All right, so if you look at him, right, the signing of Musa actually boost our supporter profile as well, which is really great. We have actually got new 1.5 million new fans in our social media, which is great. And his signing is actually predicted to boost our shirt sales as well. So I think 29.5 million spent on him. I think we will be able to get it, I think in the first season as well. And I really hope on the field he will have a great performance for us as well. Alright guys, so one of the most sensible signing done by my head of youth development, I would say. Alright, Noel Aseko Kili. Alright, so this boy, we actually signed him from Bayern Munich second, the FC Bayern 2, their B team, all right, for 6 million. So I think which is really great. He's only 18 years old. He is a defensive midfielder, and I've already started training him to be as our deep lying playmaker on defense. Obviously, he won't be starting in our first team 11, but I've actually put him in our first team. I want him to train with our team, and yeah, because of the potential that he actually has, almost 5-star potential. He is already a championship standard player. So maybe you guys will actually get to see him, maybe making a one or two, appearances in the first team 11, maybe from the bench in the Carabao Cup or in the FA Cup. But I'm really excited, and he is basically going to be homegrown in club for us, which is going to be even greater, All right, so I'm really excited to see, sign him only for 6 million, and I am really looking forward to see him getting developed in this club. All right, so another one more signing confirmed. Serginho Dest is joining us. All right, so Serginho Dest, he is gonna be I wouldn't say backup to Tino. I think Tino and him will be competing, for the right back position. All right, in our team. The only thing I don't like about Serginho Dest is he doesn't enjoy big matches. All right, so that is the only thing that I think is gonna be one of the weakness in his play. I really hope. All right, but overall, I would say it is a very good signing. We only signed him for 10 million from Barcelona. I'm not sure why Barcelona are selling their players for so cheap, but I'm not gonna complain. His physical is good. Um, I wouldn't say that he's a superstar. He's a little bit average, but I think he will be able to do a good job. In the absence of Kieran Trippier in our team. If you look at him, yeah, even his signing is also predicted to boost our shirt sales, which is gonna be amazing. We have only signing for 10 million. I think, yeah, this is gonna be a great transfer business, I would say. All right, guys. So Nick Pope has been sold to Bournemouth for 16.5 million. So to be honest, in the first season, Nick Pope was actually really really good for us. He played quite a lot of football, but in the second season when Dan signed Diogo Costa, Nick Pope didn't had a lot of chances. He only made 10 appearances and he was not happy. He asked for a transfer out, and yeah, Bournemouth, actually, yeah, signed him for 16.5 million. He's actually a very, very good goalkeeper. It's just that we had Diogo Costa, in our team, and then, yeah, obviously I will be starting, Diogo Costa ahead of Nick Pope, right? But yeah, thank you so much for your service, Nick Pope, in the first season, and I really hope you will bring Bournemouth back to Premier League. All right, guys, it is 10th of August and we are approaching our first game of season 3. All right, guys, so when I look at our squad planner, right, I think I would say that we have actually had a very, very successful, transfer window. Okay, yeah, there were some position that we were actually looking to, bolster up, as you guys know, especially in our central midfield position, in our centre back position, the right back and the left back as well. I know the left back doesn't look that good if you look at this, right? 2.5 star. But as you guys know, Milos, he actually has a lot of potential. So hopefully, throughout the season, he will develop into a great player, and hopefully he will replace Matthew Target as our first left back. Okay, in terms of our right back position, we have our new signing Serginho Dest. to actually compete with Tino on the right hand side, and Guardiola, coming in to partner up with Bastoni on the left hand side. So that is going to be great defensive line that we have already created here. I'm really excited to see what happens there. All right, so in terms of our defensive midfield position as well, we have signed Dario, Aseko, Nikili, and we even have Antonio Blanco that can actually play as a defensive midfielder. So I think that is actually going to create a very, very good cover in the defensive midfielder position as well. And Yunus Musa as our new signing, as our Mazala on attack. Looking at him, 3.5 star, I think this guy will create a lot of problem in the midfield for the opposition. And I'm really excited to see how is he going to perform in our first game against Leeds United tomorrow. Okay, as you guys know, on the right hand side we have already changed our box to box midfielder role to central midfielder on support. Orkan, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Oliver can actually play quite well in that role as well. So I'm really excited to see how they will play, in that position. All right, on the left hand side we have Hudson Odoi that is going to be starting as our inverted winger. Oliver can actually also cover that side. He can actually play as an inverted winger as well. Martin Tavares, can also cover in that position. Okay, Saint Maximin will be starting as our right winger. Rooney Baji, as you guys know, he is amazing. And we even have Joe Gilhart, coming in, to provide cover on the right hand side as well. On the striker position, we have Isaac, Callum Wilson, Martin Tavares, and even Santiago Munoz, to provide cover on, in that position as well. So overall, I would say that I'm really happy with the transfer that we have done. But we do have a lot of transfer budget left. We still have 122 million, and we do have a lot of transfer, a lot of wage budget, left in our team as well. To be honest, we actually started the transfer window with a higher wage budget than 149. If I'm not mistaken, we were spending around 155 million. So, in my opinion, we have actually managed to improve the squad while reducing our wage budget. So I think that has been great, and the whole credit will have to go to our director of football. So yeah, it is still to be seen. There's still another 3 weeks of transfer window still left. It is still open, and I really hope we will see more transfer business done by our director of football and our head of youth development as well. Okay, so in terms of tomorrow's episode, right, we will be starting our campaign, our Premier League campaign, with a game against Leeds United and Tottenham. So guys, if you have enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the beginning of season 3. Bye bye.